Hello, my name is Sarah Proctor. I am CCO here at Copenhagen Optimization. Today's episode, as part of our optimization talks, is all about virtual queuing. Thank you for listening in. Now, virtual queuing is all about creating a better passenger experience. In a traditional context, you might even have tried virtual queuing, perhaps at a theme park or at the pharmacy. You will have been put in a line together with everyone else, but in a digital context. But virtual queuing in a more modern and aviation context is a lot more than just being placed in a line. It's all about creating passenger experience and operational efficiencies, as well as getting people more commercially orientated. Virtual queuing is live across many airports in North America and Europe. We're adding more airports all the time. And actually, I take the liberty of saying that virtual queuing is no longer a nice to have program, but a need to have service offering at any airport in the world. Passengers are global passengers, and they will be looking to see whether they can make an appointment and reserve their appointment at your airport. So how it works. The example I'm going to cover here is for security, but it's important to say that virtual queuing can be applied across a lot of touch points. Everything from check-in to security, border immigration, or even boarding. So virtual queuing really has a lot to offer. The passengers are prompted to make a reservation. So for the security example, the passenger can go in, put in their destination, their flight details, and how many people are in their party. They are then given an opportunity of slots that they can choose between. Once they have confirmed their appointment, they receive a QR code, or even a confirmation that can be integrated with their ticket barcode. This confirmation is then brought to the security checkpoint where it is screened and the passenger is granted access. The screening can be done either by a handheld scanning device or even an integrated e-gate. Now, the concept of operations on the floor, if we're using the example of security, can be many. In fact, it really depends on what the airport has in terms of layout and wants to do with the virtual queuing. A simple layout could be having a dedicated virtual queue line where the passengers are separated in the queuing area, but once the passenger comes up to the actual security screening point, they simply blend in with all the passengers, meaning that you're not carving out a security line for them. Another setup, however, could be that you in fact do carve out a security line. I'd only recommend this if you have a high utilization and a high level of sign-ups for your virtual queue program. So back to the component of why virtual queuing is so much more than just a reservation platform. Virtual queuing has proven to be a real driver for operational efficiency. The two main improvements have been the ability to peak shave and the ability to load balance. Now, peak shaving is done by the fact that we can nudge passengers to show up when we want them to show up. By controlling the slot availability, we can get passengers signing up off-peak. An example of this could be if an airport has a peak at 8 o'clock in the morning. By offering more slots at 7:30, we can get more passengers showing up off-peak and processed, going through happy and relaxed. And at the same time, we also bring down the overall peak by those passengers not being there. So in fact, we're improving the passenger experience for everyone and driving throughput at the security checkpoint. A second operations benefit is load balancing. With our analytics capabilities, we're able to detect exactly where the peaks happen. And by doing this, we can again control the slots and make sure that we nudge the passengers not only to show up when we want them, but also where we want them. So what do we know from all our many implementations across the world? Well, from extensive surveys, we have quite a lot of quantitative and qualitative feedback and data. One thing is for sure, passengers love it. In fact, 92% of passengers say that they are either satisfied or very satisfied with the virtual queue experience. We also know that 69% of passengers are travelling in groups with friends or family, and 88% of the virtual queuing users are travelling for a leisure or personal reason. 46% of the passengers said that they signed up in order to achieve peace of mind before coming to the airport. Now, what we also know on the wait time impact is that 82% say that they saved time using the virtual queue program. And what's really interesting is that 57% of passengers say that they spend more money on shopping and dining because of the time that they saved. So to wrap everything up, virtual queuing is so much more than just getting passengers to sign up for an appointment. If done correctly and with a thorough analytics back end, you can improve your passenger experience, you can improve operational efficiency, and you can most certainly also build a commercial business case. So if you're interested and considering implementing virtual queuing, let me summarize the 3 key learnings that we have gathered from the projects that we have done. First of all, recommendation number 1, make sure that you decide on the concept of operations, that you decide when your virtual queuing is a success. Second, it's about having the intelligence, the back-end analytics. You want to be able to control everything and understand what's going on at your airport. So by having a simple reservation portal, you might not be able to do this. Make sure that you have the back end, that you can control the slots, the opening hours, all the grace periods, etc. It's really, really vital if you want to achieve all the benefits that virtual queue has to offer. And last but not least, stakeholder alignment. Getting the airlines, the handlers, the staff providers is crucial, especially when we talk about driving awareness. We've partnered with a lot of airlines across the world who have supported the program, which has really boosted sign-up rates significantly. Interestingly enough, that once a program is up and running, we actually see that the recommendations from family and friends becomes the key driver for awareness. So what's next? Well, to be honest, I'll say that we are only in the early days of what virtual queuing really has to offer. We're envisioning this becoming the key factor in creating a digital market space. We want to create a future, seamless and predictable journey from curb to gate. And there's really no limitation to where and when virtual queuing should be interconnected in the passenger journey. So finally, virtual queuing, if done right, is a really powerful enabler for this digital market space, but make sure to address it in a holistic approach in an operations context if you really want to reap all the benefits it has to offer. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening in to this episode on virtual queuing as part of our optimization talks. If you do have any questions or would like any more information, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much.